Hi everyone, Aaron Brooks from Perfect Postures. Today I'd like to share a story about a new client that came in actually last week who had severe right low back pain, so much so that he was having trouble sitting, it was affecting his work. He really couldn't find a comfortable position at all. He also was diagnosed with scoliosis, and basically scoliosis is just a curvature of the spine. When I did the evaluation, it was really profound, the discrepancies in his pelvis. So a lot of times people could have scoliosis where it may be a congenital issue, or sometimes scoliosis is actually a functional issue. And what that means is that the soft tissue, the muscles, could actually be pulling things out of alignment. So let me get back to the case with the client. When we evaluated him, he had a curvature of his lumbar spine off toward his left side, and then his spine came back up this way again. So it was pretty obvious, the curvature there. Now, when I looked at his pelvis, the right side of his pelvis was probably at least an inch higher. And then when I did a frontal view and we looked at his pelvis, the left side of his pelvis was twisted forward. So basically he had two things. He had the higher on the right side, and then his whole pelvis structure was twisted toward his left. So this is a prime example of a person that's diagnosed with scoliosis that his case was actually more of a functional scoliosis versus it being a congenital issue. So we took him through some corrective exercises, and we actually made in one session significant changes. If you were viewing our last post from last week, we actually had Kenneth in here from Australia interning with us, and he was able to see it firsthand as well, to see that kind of change. And to be quite honest, when we see that kind of change, that doesn't happen all the time, but it was so much so that it was basically instant relief. So if you do have scoliosis, you may want to consider finding someone that could actually do an evaluation and see if in fact it is either congenital or if it's functional.